Alright, let's go Ranger.
This is a story of struggle, triumph, and sorrow. Growing up in the Callio projects, surrounded by poverty and violence, some would say that they were lucky to make it out alive. The Miller family, Kevin, Percy, Germany, Corey, and Vashon, didn't have name brand clothes and went to bed hungry most of the time. They would all, however, keep a smile on their faces because of the love that was showered down upon them. The Millers were happy and thankful for the little things that they did have. In life, nothing seemed impossible to Percy, the oldest of the siblings. In fact, he has been quoted in saying, "If Michael Jackson took his family out of the ghetto, I'm going to get my family out of the ghetto." Kevin's older brother Percy, who would later be known to the world as Master P, was and still is a firm believer in speaking things into existence. It was this way of thinking that would launch him into superstar status. However, this ep isn't about P. This is the story of Kevin Miller, the younger brother of Percy. Born in 1968, Kevin was the second son born to Josie and Percy Miller. Hailing from the Callio Project, aka the Yo, the Miller family was huge. Kevin, Percy, Vashon, Germany, and Corey are the cousins of Randall and Troy Watts, aka Callio Slim and T-Dub. How are they related, you may ask? They are related through Randall's father. If you were to ask anyone from the Yo who are still around from that time frame, they would tell you that the Miller boys were always together. If you saw Kevin, there was no doubt that you were going to see Percy or Corey.
Alright, let's go Ranger.
Vashon, the younger of the brothers, would always be on the porch dribbling a basketball. The Russia Blade driveway on the old side of the project is what they would call home. In the 80s, before the beef was hot and heavy between projects and hoods, dudes out the Yo played ball with the dudes out the Melf all of the time. Two of those dudes out the Melf were Rodney Love and CP. In the 1980s, Uptown New Orleans had some of the most talented ball players in the city. Michael Bullock out the Noya was hands down the best baller from Uptown during this era. Times were rough for Kevin as a child growing up in the impoverished environment of the Callio. As a child, his mother worked at the Hyatt Regency. Kevin's pops worked as a security guard for the French Market, which is located in the French Quarter. Dealing with the hardships and struggles of everyday life, Kevin's parents would eventually separate. The separation would break up the family dynamics as Vashon, Corey, and Germany would move into the Magnolia Project with their mom. Kevin and Percy would stay with their pops in the Callio Project in their grandparents' 3-bedroom apartment. At the end of the day, when it was all said and done, 16 people were living in the 3-bedroom apartment in the Yo. Although the family dynamics had changed, the Miller kids would still see each other every day when their mom would drop off their siblings in the project. Through it all, Kevin and Percy would both excel at basketball. They would ultimately end up attending Warren Easton Senior High, playing on the same team. Being lured in by the environment that surrounded him, Kevin would start running the streets at an early age. Out of all the brothers, Kevin was the most street. He had always been known to carry himself like a G. In his adolescent years, Kevin ran with the Tuesday Crew, a group of teams out the Yo. Contrary to popular belief, the Tuesday Crew, which consisted of Chin, Bruce, Burnell, Kluge, and Johnny, weren't always the flashy fly hustlers that they turned out to be. They would get their start by breaking into and stealing cars. It wouldn't be until the boom of that hard that they would start to ball out. Money, cars, clothes, motorbikes, and women. They had it all. Even the dope ropes with the big gold medallion pieces. Them boys' names were ringing in the streets, especially when it came down to the females. Burnell, who is Bruce's brother, used to mess with Skinny Nicole, who lived in the corner house right there behind Ernst's food store. If you know, you know. Kevin had slowly earned a reputation for being a gangster in the streets. Not that he was catching bodies, but everyone knew he wasn't to be played with. When it came to the females, Kevin was no slouch himself. He was definitely doing his thing. Kev was a known player that a lot of the young bad chicks were running behind. Kevin would even at one point have girls fighting over him. If you wanted an easy way to piss Kevin off, just play with one of his siblings. Kevin was head first about his people, more in particular his sister Germany. There's a few little F's that I can run about Kevin going at dudes behind his sister. Determined to keep Kevin out of the streets and hanging with his drug dealing friends, Kevin's grandmother, Big Mama, would throw hot water on the known drug dealers to run them off of her porch. Having a widespread reputation for being hard workers, Kevin's grandmother worked as a nurse at the hospital, while his grandfather worked at Mackenzie's Bakery. With blood, sweat, and tears, they would earn enough money to send the boys to St. Monica Catholic School. As a teen, Kevin's cousin, Hot Boy, was a known hustler who was certified in the streets. It was Hot Boy's reputation that would further Kevin's interest in the streets. In an unfortunate turn of events, in 1983, Kevin's grandfather, Big Daddy, would lose his life at the hands of medical staff due to them inducing the wrong meds. After the death of his grandfather, Kevin's older brother, Percy, would end up moving to California.
In that moment, I decided I got to get out of Louisiana.
Percy was like, come on, let's pack up.
Sonia ended up having some relatives living in Richmond, California.
Launching a record store with monies from the malpractice lawsuit that was awarded due to his grandfather's passing. Kevin's younger brother, Corey Miller, would follow in the footsteps of those who had came before him by joining the military.
Let's go.
Meanwhile, Kevin would stay in New Orleans doing his thing in the murderous streets of the Calio Project, aka the Killing Fields.
Meanwhile, back in New Orleans, Master P's little brother Kevin was fully in the streets.
In 1990, out of nowhere, the unthinkable would happen. Kevin Miller would violently lose his life from multiple gunshot wounds to the head and back. The headline from St. John the Baptist Parish covering the murder would read like this: 2 Kennermen accused in friend's death in Kenner, Louisiana. The article will further go on to state, and I quote, Kenneth Williams shot Kevin Miller, 22, of Metairie, Louisiana, several times in the back and head. Kenneth enlisted the help of a friend to dump the body on a roadside in St. John the Baptist Parish. Kenneth Williams, 17 at the time, was booked with second-degree murder. Melvin Ratcliffe, 21 at the time, was booked as an accessory to the crime. Chief Nick Conjimmy stated that Kevin Miller's body was found Wednesday just off the shoulder of an Interstate I-10 exit in St. John the Baptist Parish. Chief Nick Conjimmy would also state that Kenner police learned about the shooting early that Wednesday when Melvin Ratcliffe showed up at the police headquarters to tell police that Kenneth Williams had shot Kevin Miller after a brief argument while driving down I-10. Melvin Ratcliffe said he decided to tell police because he was afraid Kenneth Williams would either kill him next or implicate him in the murder. Let's rewind. Upon learning the news, the Miller family was devastated. Percy, who was in Cali at the time of the shooting, would immediately head back home to New Orleans.
I was in the Bay working on music, and I get a phone call. I couldn't believe that my brother was dead. Everything stopped, man. My world was crushed. I drove all the way back home non-stop. That was the fastest I ever got back to New Orleans.
Corey Miller, who was away in the military, was denied a request for an emergency leave. It was this that would trigger Corey to go AWOL and leave against the orders of his superiors in the military. An act of senseless violence had taken the life of Kevin Miller, a young expecting father at the time. The tragic loss would affect Percy tremendously, as he and Kevin as young kids would always have conversations about who would be the first to die. Kevin's son will be born after his passing. He would never have an opportunity to meet his dad. He would go on to graduate and attend Xavier University, where he will play basketball. Kevin Miller Jr. would later graduate from Xavier University with a Bachelor of Science degree. In an unfortunate turn of events, Kevin's mom would pass away in September of 2019.
It's an exciting time here in the city. So many events and even more anticipation surrounding them. Now, one of those events had so many fans ready. The No Limit Reunion Tour, Master P gathering his No Limit soldiers on stage one last time. So for so many, learning that the hometown tour stop had to be postponed because of a scheduling conflict was disappointing. But there's a new date and even a few surprises. Joining us now, entrepreneur, philanthropist, rapper, mogul, truly a son of the city of New Orleans, Mr. Percy Miller. Master P, so glad to have you. How are you?
How you doing? I'm glad to be here. Even though we had a scheduling change, I'm so excited and I'm happy for the Pelicans. They 1-1, and our date got moved back to the 30th. But it's the first time I ever had a birthday party. So not only is going to be a No Limit Reunion Tour, but it's my birthday. So everybody coming out. I'm in the office, everybody calling everybody, all my friends. You don't know who's going to be there. I heard them on the phone with Beyonce, Solange, Snoop, Usher. I mean, it's just so many, all the Pelicans, even Zion might come out. So this is going to be even bigger than what we thought it was going to be. And to be able to get all the soldiers on the stage at the same time, Mia X, Mystical, Silk, Fiend, Servon, and then have Juvenile and the Yin Yang Twin. It's just going to be a no limit party. Get your camouflage. The whole city is coming to turn up. And everybody kept asking me what I want for my birthday. I'm like, you know what? I just want y'all to go to Ross's and buy our product because I got so much product. The new Snoop Dogg, if nobody's seen that, the new Snoop Dogg chips, the Master P rap snacks, and then the Soldier snacks. After my grandfather, this brand named after my grandfather, the Soldier snacks, Claude Miller. And I just want the whole city to come and have fun. We're gonna represent the Pelicans. We're gonna represent the city and what's going on. It's just a win-win for the Pelicans and a win-win for the No Limit Reunion Tour.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of people are asking, so many hoping, would you even consider performing for halftime for the show on Friday?
You know, people been asking me that. I don't know what it's gonna do. Like if I did that with me performing at halftime. I mean, they calling every day and asking, and I would love to do it. Maybe I might, you know, do something. I don't know if I could make it happen, but I don't know for its contract reasons and stuff like that. But I'm definitely going to support the Pelicans, and the whole city is turning up April 30. Get your camouflage gear. It's going to be a no limit camouflage Master P birthday bash. I never had a birthday before, so it's crazy. I mean, I want to represent the whole city, uptown, downtown, the West Bank, the East. I want everybody to come out, show out. We're going to have fun. It's just, we're going to bring the 90s in the 21st century. So it's going to be love.
We are so excited. We've seen some of the social media posts about some of the other shows. It's definitely been lit. I had my soldier rag ready. I'm ready for the show. Are there any more surprises? Anything you could tell us? Because we know coming home is so special. We're so excited to welcome you home. Anything special for your home city?
I mean, we're going to do it big. I'm saying it's going to be the big stage, the big lights. You're going to see amazing No Limit show. And you just never know what special guest going to show up. I got so many friends, and it's going to be the No Limit Reunion, Master P and friends. We're just going to come. I mean, it's going to be big, y'all. I'm telling y'all. I know everybody wanted to be there on the 22nd. But you know what? The Pelicans playing Friday. We got to show love to them. And then we're going to celebrate No Limit like never before, because I want to give all my soldiers their flowers while they're here. And a lot of people always talk about that, but to be on stage with everybody and everybody's still here. And I think we're going to do a special dedication to to Weeby and Soldier Slim. So that's going to be incredible. And I can't wait.
Absolutely. And you mentioned giving everyone their flowers. We have to give you your flowers because you are truly a son of the city. You've done so much. You've given so much back. So, of course, we have to wish you a happy early birthday, and we can't wait to be there when you shut the city down. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I can't wait. You know, I mean, like I said, I never had a birthday. So just come out, show love. Y'all, this is not going to be a concert. This is going to be a celebration. And like I said, when you go to Ross's and buy my product, the more we make, the more we give. It's about creating products and brands to be able to help other people in the community, the elderly and the youth. So we're going to have a lot of fun, but we're gonna do this for a great cause. So come out and support it. If you ain't got your tickets last time, and I know the show is going to be sold out, but try to get some tickets, and hopefully they'll open up even more now, so that it's moved to the 30th.
Absolutely. WDSU is going to have to bring you a cake. Thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to welcome you back home. So tickets for that show.
I can't wait to see.
You go ahead.
Now, I salute all my soldiers and soldierettes in New Orleans. I can't wait to see y'all.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. And those tickets from the April 22nd show, like he mentioned, will be honored for the new date. That's April 30th at 7 p.m. at the Smoothie King Center.